What's up, guys? Welcome to the final round. I'm your host, Isaiah, and today I'm going to be breaking down UFC Fight Night Perth. Ulberg versus Reyes is taking place this Saturday, September 27th, in Perth, Australia, at the Rack Arena. And I just realized I fucking misspelled arena, and now I look like a fucking retard. So, oh well, is what it is. I am retarded. But let's get right into the breakdown. And before I do that, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment on the videos. Any type of interaction is helpful. Any type of engagement is helpful. And go check out the UFC 320 fight trailer that I just released last week. So pay attention to that, and let's get right into the breakdown. This bout order is not finalized, by the way, just so you know. Brando Perrick versus Eliza Ellison. I'm picking Brando to win this fight. I don't know much about these guys. But from what I've seen, um, Brando has more of a pop in his shot when he throws, and Elijah is decent. Um, but this is a kind of hard choice because this is basically regional fighting because both these guys are making their UFC debut this Saturday. Um, but I'm going to side with the hometown guy, Brendo Perrick. He's not going to have to make a flight overseas to Australia and all that, so he's going to be more ready. And I can't see he has more experience. He's a bit older. So I'm going to choose Brando Perrick. I don't know much about these guys, but Brando's going to be my pick. Michelle Montague versus Luana Carolina. I'm choosing Michelle Montague to win her debut fight in against Carolina. Luna Carolina is a decent fighter. She's got some decent wins over Lucy Pudlova, Julia Storolenko, Ivana Petrovic. The Julia Storolenko one really does not age well because Juliana sucks. Julia sucks. Well, Luana is a good fighter. She has the experience. She is the fighter, if everyone remembers, that got spinning elbow by Molly McCann. And I think the first London card that was back from COVID and shocked everybody. But since then, she's improved her game, improved her defense, and has become a better fighter. But I go look at Michelle. She's a former PFL tour fighter, fought PFL and Bellator, um, and is on a undefeated. The undefeated and making her USA debut makes me not want to pick her because she doesn't. We just saw this literally 2 weeks ago, I think, and Alice Pereira, fucking 19 years old, debut, undefeated, not experienced enough. I want to pick Michelle because I think she's gonna be able to get to. Oh my God! What wait? What fight? What way are they fighting at? Let me check because I'm pretty sure this is 135. Yeah, this is 135. So yeah, no, I'm picking Michelle Montague because she has fought at 145 is dropping down, and Luana fought at 125. I forgot about this. She's fought at a lighter weight class and is moving up to fight this girl. So I think it's she's gonna be a bit more slower, packing on the weight, and I think Michelle's just gonna be a bit more faster. And I think Michelle's gonna get this fight done. She probably gets it done by decision. I don't think Luana gets finished, but Michelle Montague will be my pick. Jamie Malarkey versus Rolando Bedoya. God, man, this is a tough one because I have faded Jamie Malarkey time and time again, dude. He's not that good. He's got no chin. But in this fight, he is the far better striker. and the odds are so close. I mean, you look at Rolando, he kind of is a slap puncher. Like, he doesn't have pop in the shots. He's riding a three-fight losing streak. First of the losses. Oh, all these fights are in the UFC. Wow. So he hasn't won the UFC yet. His first fight, he lost to Chaos Williams by split decision. Has aged horribly. Lost to Kanan Song by decision. And just lost to Jai Herbert by decision. So decent fighters, but you know, if you were going to be anything in this division at 28 years old, you should be beating these guys 100%. And but you also have Jamie Larkey, who doesn't have a chin, but is the better striker, has the reach, not the reach, the height. But the only thing I worry about is chin because he's a very, very chinny type of guy. 17-8, he's been chin quite a lot. His last three losses are all from KO. His last two wins are decision. So I think he's just you're gonna be able to avoid the shots because Rolando does not have power, and you're gonna be able to put it together enough and just be use his striking more to win on points. So I think Jamie Milwaukee will win this fight on points. In terms of betting, I wonder if I should do a betting show. Just do my best bets. I think I'll do my best bets. Yeah, that'll be a new show I do. But yeah, in terms of betting, avoid this at all costs because you can't trust Jamie Malarkey for the life of yourself if he gets touched on the chin a couple times. So the pick's going to be Jamie Malarkey, but there's a bit of wariness that comes with that pick. Just be aware of that. Colby Thickness versus Josias Musasa. I'm going to be choosing Colby Thickness to win this fight. Um, why is that? I don't know. You guys are the same age. Colby has a reach disadvantage. But from Josiah, from what I've been able to see, he's when he finishes these guys, he finishes them early. I don't know if he has the wherewithal to go full distance because the last five. No, what am I talking about? He's gone to this. He's gone to the decision. I don't really know much about Josiah, but Thickness does train with Volk, and his last fight was on short notice against Alessandre Taporia, where I'm a bit suspicious about Alessandre Taporia still. I'm 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 pick flipping. I'm pick flipping. I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm saying with Colby Thickness. Um, I'm still iffy about the Alessandre Taporia because I don't know if Alessandre Taporia has a padded record or not. But Josias um, does have the power on his side, but I don't think he's going to be able to finish Josiah, finish Colby Thickness in this fight. I think Colby edges out I think a split decision in this fight, but we'll see. Cam Raushton versus Andrei Petrovsky. I'm choosing Cam Raushton to win this fight, and I'm choosing it because I'm picking Cam Raushton. I watched him on the Contender Series a couple weeks ago. He looked good. And Andrei Petrovsky, on the other hand, I do not care for in the slightest. I think Andrei Petrovsky kind of sucks as a fighter. I don't know why he ever got fucking signed from the UFC or signed to the UFC. He lost the fucking He lost the Ultimate Fighter in the second round of the competition. All right. He has a fucking hammer and sickle communism tattoo on his fucking body. All right. And let's not forget his fight against Jacob Malkoun last year. He shot a takedown, hit Jacob Malkoun's hip, and knocked himself out basically. And since then, he beat Jarfran by decision, Dylan Budka by decision, Rodolfo Vieira by decision. All bottom tier fucking middleweights. And in those fights, he just grabs a hold and lays in praise. This dude fucking sucks. All right, this dude fucking sucks. But my only worry with Cam Roushing is his last year when he fought Torres Finney on the Contender Series, he got laid on top of and laid and prayed, and he wasn't able to go back to his feet. And my only worry in this fight is that if Andre gets him down to the ground, Cam Roush is not going to have a way to get back to his feet, and that worries me. But I think Cam Roush is going to be able to keep this fight standing. Come from City Kickboxing, those guys have decent takedown defense. But I think Andre Petrovsky's shots into the takedown also suck. So I think Cam is just going to be able to avoid it, stay on the outside, pick his shots, and honestly, I think he finishes Andre Petrovsky within the distance. I think he finishes Andre Petrovsky. And is that pick biased? Yes. Yes, it is. Do I care? No. Is a pick different from a bet? 100%. So keep that in mind. The pick's going to be Cam Roushing. I got him by finish any way he wants. Fuck you, Petrovsky. You fucking communist. Jonathan Mikulev versus Oman Elliott. I'm choosing Mikulev to win this fight. I was high. We had Oban Elliott on our prospect list before his last loss to Ko, and we were high on him a little bit. He looked like one of these contenders in the welterweight division that could have, no, definitely not reached top five, but top 10 maybe. But now that he's lost, I go back and look at his fights and his wins in the UFC. He got Val Woodburn by decision, Preston Parsons by decision, Basil Hafez by KO, and then he lost to Ko, where he had absolutely nothing to show in the fight. He just got, and it's not like he got dominated. He just got shut out for the entire fight. He couldn't do anything. He had no sense of ability to get off the ground, and he's taking on Jonathan Mikulev, who is the far longer fighter. He has 5 inches in reach advantage on him, and younger fighter by a year. Um, Fighting in his hometown, or not hometown, home country of Australia. I think the reach advantage is going to give him the advantage he needs, and I think he just picks apart Oban at distance, where Oban's not going to be able to really get his shots off. He's going to land some shots, but not get the more significant shots that the judges will score. I don't think he gets finished. I think Jonathan takes it to a decision. Because he took fucking Kevin Jusset, who's dog water, to a decision. But I think he's able to use his takedowns well. And we saw in his last fight, Oban doesn't have anything. Maybe it's because the judo style, the switch up short notice opponent and Ko. But we saw what we saw, and he got completely shut out. So I'm choosing the hometown guy. I'm choosing Jonathan Mikulev to get this win. But there is a way I can see Oban winning if he makes it dirty. But I don't know. We'll see. My pick is Jonathan Mikulev. Loma Lukbumi versus Alexa Thayanara. My pick is going to be Thayanara to win this fight. I like Lukbumi. She's a decent fighter, 10-3. But has not beaten the best competitions. But then again, neither has Alexia Thayanara. She's only beaten Molly McCann on short notice by submission. But let's be honest, Molly McCann is can. That's why she couldn't hang in the UFC, and now is that boxing. But Luma, she's a decent fighter, but she is outmatched, I think. Um, in reach and height, she's got almost another 5.5 inches on disadvantage in reach, and then 3 inches in disadvantage on height. Um, I just think this is. I mean, Alexa has good energy. We saw in her last fight against Molly McCann. She has great energy coming in. Looked good in the fight, which she took on short notice, and got it done by submission. And I think she does a similar thing here, and she trains with the Ribas family, Amanda Ribas's family, kind of. And I think she does what Amanda Ribas couldn't in this division. I think she reaches the top, and I think she might have some success in the top five of this division. But we'll have to wait and see. She's only had one fight in the UFC, but the pick's going to be Alexa Thayanara. I think she does enough in the striking and in the grappling, and it just probably will be. I think will be the overall more physical, stronger fighter in this fight. So we're gonna see that. So my pick is going to be Alexa Thayanara. Oh boy. Oh boy, the featured prelim of the night. Navajo Sterling versus Rodolfo Bellato. Come here. Let me explain something right here. This man, I'm not going to call him a fighter because he is no way in hell a fighter, but this man, this actor in Rodolfo Bellato, literally took the easiest fucking way out in his last fight. Yes, he got hit with an illegal kick on the ground, but let me do a play-by-play on how this looks. He gets up kicked in the chin. He looks at the ref, goes, oh, and then falls backward, pretends to be asleep, knocked out, and then a couple seconds later, just, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, dude, Aljamain Sterling was a better actor than you. Holy shit, that was fucking awful. Like, can you show me a bigger quitter? I'm pretty sure you could show me a bigger quitter, but can you show me a bigger bitch than Rodolfo Bellato? And then before that, what? What? Took Jimmy Crute to a decision, dude? Come on. This dude isn't good. He beat Ihor Pereira by KO in his debut fight. Ihor got cut, has been cut since. Not aged well. He does not have a win in the UFC, an active win. All right, Rodolfo Bellato is fucking awful. He should lose this fight, and I hope he gets cut after this fight. But look over with Navajo Sterling. I have not been impressed with him in the UFC. He looked good on the Contender Series. Came in, looked decent against Tuco Tokos, and then it was a close fight against Ivan Erzlan, but got it done both times by decision. This is my last chance on riding not the Navajo Sterling train. He should win this fight 100%. But if he does not win this fight within the first two rounds, and he takes Rodolfo Bellato out within the first two rounds, this they keep calling him the future of this light heavyweight division. No, no, I don't see that happening. Not with how he's looking. And he's coming from City Kickboxing, and I'll be honest, hot take here. I love Izzy. I love City Kickboxing. The only championship fighter they will ever produce is Israel Adesanya. They do have Kai Kara and Dan Hooker, but they'll never get a championship belt. And everyone else, like Carlos Ulberg and all of them, I don't think reach the top. And we'll talk about Carlos Ulberg later, but I'm gonna pick Navajo Sterling to win this fight by KO. You better win this. Fucking take out this bum ass Bellato. Whatever. Justin Tafa versus Louis Sutherland. Let me see here. Louis Sutherland has not fought anyone to note. This is UFC debut. And it's heavyweight. It's hard to choose. But on the offside, we have Justin Tafa, fucking 7-5. And both him and his brother are known to only have fucking striking. All right. If he gets to the ground, dude, it's game over. He's gonna lose. All right. It's the same as his brother. But I'm gonna pick Louis Sutherland to win this fight. Another Scottish man to replace Paul Craig. We need another Scot in the UFC. And Justin Tafel is kind of not that good. He made Talison Teixeira look good in his last fight, bro. Talison Teixeira is shit. All right. And before that, lost to Carl Williams over a year ago. Oh my God. 2 years ago is when he knocked out Austin Lane, dude. And he's not active enough, all right? I'm picking Louis Sutherland just because we need new heavyweights, and Justin Tafa has only one chance to win this fight, and that's to land a big shot. So, pick's going to be Louis Sutherland because Justin Tafa is another fat heavyweight. Tom Nolan versus Charlie Campbell. The pick's going to be Tom Nolan to win this fight. Tom Nolan has definitely improved since his lost to Nicolas Moda in his UFC debut. He's KO'd Victor Martinez, beat Alex Reyes, okay, and then just beat Vyacheslav Borshchev by decision. Which that one that is impressive to me. But you have Charlie Campbell, who's coming off a decision win to Trevor Peek, blockhead, hammer fist throwing Trevor Peek. I can't trust you, man. And when was that? That was in 2024, or a year and 5 months ago. Since, oh my God, since then, Tom Nolan has had his last 3 wins. Yeah, I'm picking Tom Nolan to win this fight. Dude, activity alone is one thing. He's a younger fighter, hometown, another guy traveling from the U.S. to Australia, long journey. I think it's going to favor Tom Nolan. I think he gets the fight done by either late KO or decision. I'm not impressed with Charlie Campbell. All right. Yeah, he beat Alex Reyes and Trevor Peek. That's all right. So did Tom Nolan. But pick's gonna be Tom Nolan. Um, he should get it done. Jake Matthews versus Neil Magny. I am fucking going with Jake Matthews here. I have been a fan of Jake Matthews since, well, since he, I can't say since he joined the UFC, because I wasn't that much of a, hardcore as I am now, but I remember I've watched him for a long time. He's been in the UFC since 2014. He has always been to me this Charles Oliveira type of guy, where he got in way too early and has had his entire career basically in the UFC, and has evolved in the UFC. So yes, he's taken some losses here and there because he's what? Oh wait, that's not what I want. He is 31 years old, dude. He is 31 years old, and he has been in the UFC since 2014. All right? That's fucking wild. Since 24, so he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 fights in the UFC alone. And yeah, he's lost to Michael Morales, but he took Michael Morales to a decision, and arguably looked pretty decent in that fight. The Matthew Sullinsberger fight loss doesn't age well because Matthew Sullinsberger has digressed drastically since then. But that was during the point where Sullinsberger was kind of on a hot streak, so you can't discount that. Lost to Sean Brady. Sean Brady is one of the top guys in the welterweight division right now. And before that, it's just like other guys. But since then, he keeps evolving as a fighter. What I'm trying to get at is I don't know if he becomes a champion like Charles was able to do. I think he will finally break into the top 15, and I think he gets into the top 10. No doubt in my mind. Because he's fighting Neil Magny. And unlike Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos, who's going to engage Neil Magny in the clinch, and that's how you lose a fight against Neil Magny. You engage him in the clinch. That's how Mike Malott ended up losing. That's how Phil Rowe ended up losing. The last three losses were Ian Gary, Mike Morales, and Carlos Frontes. It's just there's a big age difference, big athletic difference right now, and honestly, pick's gonna be Jake Matthews. I think he finishes Neil Magny within the distance. I think I see another sub coming, or yeah, another sub. I don't know if it knocks Neil Magny out. Could be a TKO, but I'm writing Jake Matthews. Minus 500 favorite is a bit weird. I don't like those odds. It makes them unbettable, in my opinion. But Jake Matthews should win this fight. And he's going to be the pick. Jimmy Crute versus Ivan Arslan. I'm choosing Jimmy Crute to win this fight. It pains me to say it, but Ivan Arslan isn't good. He hasn't lost a fight at all in the UFC. He lost to Navo Sterling and Ion Cutelaba. But 2 months ago, Jimmy got his first UFC win since 2020, I think. Yeah, since I think October 2020, maybe. I don't know. But where he beat Marcin Prachnio by submission. Prachnio had some moments in that fight, but surprisingly, Jimmy is the younger fighter, even though he's already retired once. Um, but he should. I'm not really gonna dive in this fight because I don't give a fuck about Jimmy Crute. I'll be completely honest. All right, he drawed to Alonzo Menifield and then lost him and said I can't do this anymore. Retires, comes back, draws against Rodolfo Bellato, the herpes. I didn't even mention that in my breakdown. This dude has herpes. Rodolfo Bellato has herpes. Anyway, drawed with him and then finally got a win in Prochnio. And the fact that he's got a win in the UFC tells me he can beat Ivan Arslan. So he should be able to beat Ivan Arslan, and Jimmy Crute will be the pick. But betting wise, avoid this fight at all costs because Jimmy Crute cannot be trusted at all, no matter what. But he will be the pick. Jack Jenkins versus Ramon Tavares. Another pick where I gotta pick the guy I don't like, but Jack Jenkins should 100% win this fight. Um, Solely because Ramon Tavares is moving up in weight. That doesn't bode well for me. I don't like seeing that. He's moving up in weight. He's traveling across the world to get this fight. Um, and he doesn't have the most power in his shots from what we've seen. I mean, his only fight in the UFC took Reyes today to a decision and then lost to David Grant, where, I mean, David Grant's a pretty decent loss if you're a contender, a young guy coming up. But Jack Jenkins should win this fight by decision. Ramon really isn't a chinny guy. He has been KO'd before, but Jack Jenkins really isn't known to be a power puncher, power striker. But I can see an idea. I can see a possibility where Jack Jenkins comes up with a high kick and then finishes Tavares like that. So the pick's going to be Jack Jenkins by decision, but I can see him winning by TKO in this fight. But Jack Jenkins also a guy I'm not too high on. Someone I don't really like. His wins I haven't been really impressed by. Don Shane, Jamal Emmers, Herbert Burns, all not really that good. So Jack Jenkins should win this fight, but yeah. Moving on, main event of the evening. We got Carlos Ulberg versus Dominick Reyes. This one pains me, man, because you know watching Dom Reyes take his career from crumbles and then building it back together to a three-fight winning streak has been heartwarming. It's been amazing to see that dude. Because I remember watching all his losses. Like he's just too focused on the John fight, dude. In all of his losses, you could see he was so focused on that John Jones fight. Too like, and it affected him, cost him each and every time. And he lost to John. Arguably could have beaten him. Then got finished by Jan Blachowicz. Got finished by Yuri Prohaska. Two guys, top of the cream, top of the crop, really good. But then got KO'd by Ryan's man, and that one was like, oh god, no. And then took some time off, took a year off, came back, KO'd Justin Jacoby, KO'd Anthony Smith, and then KO'd Nikita Krylov, or TKO'd these guys. But he's a counter striker, and he's looking good. He's looking real good as of late. He's only 35 years old, and at these higher weight classes, being 35 doesn't affect you as much. But you look at Carlos Ulberg, he's on a really good streak. His last loss was to Kennedy Nchekwu back in 2021. Since then, he's been on a what, eight fight? Yeah, eight fight win streak. And he looked good coming up. And then his fights of Volkan Ozdemir and then Jan Blachowicz really painted the picture. Like, is he that guy? Because he's just moving on the back foot, just plodding, not really doing much. And I get Jan Blachowicz and Volkan have some power, especially Jan, but it's like it looked like he was just doing enough just to edge out a decision, or doing enough just to win the fight, not doing anything to really cement that win. And I really, really want to pick Dom Reyes to win this fight, dude. I think he can win this. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going with the underdog. I'm going with Dom Reyes. I'm picking Dom Reyes to win this fight and then get the fucking title shot and fight the winner of the title fight next week. All right, Dom Reyes is gonna do that shit. My pick is Dom Reyes. Carlos Ulberg can win this fight. He's the younger fighter, only by like a year though. He's got He does not have the reach advantage, but he trains at City Kickboxing. He does use his reach well, and he is a point fighter. What we've seen from City Kickboxing, like Izzy, he's a point fighter, and he can he go 5 rounds though? Can he go the full distance? Because I guarantee you, Dom Reyes is going to be in his face every step of this fight, and that could be detrimental to Dom Reyes because it wasn't just 2 years ago people were talking about he's chinny. But my pick is Dom Reyes. I'm riding high with Dom Reyes. I'm confident. I'm believing in the comeback story. I think he can do it, and I'd love to see him fight for the title again. He probably will not win the title, but to see him come back and fight for the title, and honestly, if he could make that title fight close and gritty, that'd be the greatest story, dude. That'd be one of the greatest stories for him. So, pick's gonna be Dom Reyes. I hope he wins. I really do, because I'm not really impressed with Carlos Ulberg, but yeah, that's gonna do it for the breakdown, guys. Pay attention to any future breakdown videos I will be doing in the future. Next week we have UFC 320, another pay per view. It feels like fucking forever since the last pay per view, dude. Fucking back in August. But we got UFC Brazil. I don't know who's gonna main event it anymore because I'm hearing reports now that Oliveira won't even have an opponent. So we got Vancouver, Derrida versus Allen, UFC 221, Aspinall versus Gane. Pay attention to that promo video I'm making. UFC 322, Dallin versus Makachev, which Jake and I will be there for. And then UFC Qatar is all the events that they posted so far. So, yep, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Thank you all for watching. Remember, like the video, comment, subscribe. Anything's appreciated. Any type of engagement with the video is appreciated. But that's gonna do it, guys. And remember, all greatest fighters leave it all in the final round. Peace. You.